Have you ever fired your gun up in the air and gone, ah?
No, I have not ever fired my gun up in the air and gone, ah.
Heidi ho, fangirls and fanboys. It's episode 44 of Electric Fancave and ElectricFeast.com. I'm Corrigan Vaughn, joined per usual by Miss Kristin Latterell to talk a little pop culture shop with you on this fine Wednesday. We'll bring you some interesting announcements from the past week, including Magnificent Seven and Doctor Strange casting. We'll have a look-see at the new Terminator trailer, and we'll chat about some Harry Potter business, plus some of your commentary from last week. We got y'all a little riled up, so let's talk about it. Here's a funny thing. Chris and I have been having sort of an off day or something of that nature, but I got out of class today and I was like, I need food really badly before I, venture to podcast world. And so I go to this place, Saigon Noodle House. It's a good joint and have good pho, all that jazz. And like, as I'm pulling in, all of a sudden, like, so are like a whole bunch of cops. And they do that thing where, like, they just, like, pull up and they, like, jump out of their cars, like, weapons at the ready and stuff. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm in a movie! And it was, like, really exciting. Apparently, the place, like, 2 doors down or 3 doors down from my noodle place had just gotten robbed. Ooh. Like, it was, like, a smoke shop right there. And someone, like, came in. It was daylight. Like, they couldn't wait 30 minutes for the sun to go down. And they
apparently really needed some cigars
or whatever. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they robbed. Everyone seemed pretty calm about it from that point. But there was like a helicopter circling and stuff like that. So while I was like waiting for my orders, just standing outside, like, whoa, this is crazy.
It's like Bad Boys.
Yeah, right? That's exactly what it was like. And
or
so
Point
that
Break.
Was, I was about to say, or Point Break. Pretty much.
Have you ever put your gun up in the air and just fired it into the air while screaming, ah? No, I've never shot my gun into the air while screaming, ah.
Best movie ever. So that happened to me before coming here. So that added like a little adventure to my day, just being like, I went for noodles and I got, an action movie.
How?
Yeah.
Nothing nearly that exciting happened to me today.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. I'm trying to think of something even remotely as exciting.
Yeah. Well, if it's any consolation, I spent the rest of the day just sitting in a classroom.
Yeah, there you go. That makes me feel a little bit better.
It was not that exciting. I gave like a super totes awesome presentation on an article by Bhaskar Sarkar. It was really rad.
Sounds rad.
Yeah. So yeah, that was today. It's I don't know, you guys. It's the end of the quarter for me. I'm sure this is a busy season, working at a church and all that jazz. So where
people are starting to lose their minds.
Yeah.
So
do you like how Gaucho just like placed his head under my arm right there?
Yeah.
It's a good.
He's weird.
He's trying to be on the fan cave. He's so weird.
Well, who isn't?
Everybody in the club.
People are just. I mean, all we ever do is get emails about wanting to be on it. We're like, sorry, Chris Pratt, we can't have you on right this second. We're sort of busy having,
After the holidays, Chris.
Yeah, maybe. If you're lucky.
Kristin,
our schedule clears up.
Do you ever watch, like, Jeopardy / Wheel of Fortune?
I don't, because I don't actually get live TV in my house.
You don't have live television. Last night had 2 fantastic episodes of both of those things, and I'll tell you why. The Jeopardy episode, like, the poor contestants were just really struggling. The woman who was the champ from the day before, the category was, it was like, what killed you, or something like that. So, like, the first clue was Kristin, so the answer is, what is a car? Things like that. And so one of them was Transformers, and so someone buzzes in real fast and they're like, what is a transformer? I was like, oh, that's not it. And then like a robot, and then so she goes, what is a robot? And Alex is like, be more specific. She's like, what is a robot that changes into things that kills you? It was so good. Finally, like, the third person was like, what are Decepticons? He's like, yes, that was what it was.
What is Michael Bay?
Yeah, that would be great. What kills you? Transformers. Who is Michael Bay?
Who is Michael Bay?
Yeah, so that was great. And then on Wheel of Fortune, this was like all over Twitter and stuff because it was so amazing. There were these, it was like sibling day or whatever. So it was like these pairs of siblings. And the two boys who were like college aged on this, they were twins, and they were legit the nerdiest kids you have ever seen in your life, but they were so happy to be there and so excited. They were basically like, you watch Bob's Burgers, right?
Yeah.
You know the like two kids who can't be separated, like, and they're like always like all over. This is what those kids were like on this whole time, and they end up winning, and they go to the final round. And when when Pat is like, all right, you know, give me 3 consonants and a vowel, they go YMCA. And then they win, and they get their like thing, and it opens up at $40,000, and they do like a hoedown move where they like, you know, do-si-do with each other. Oh my gosh, Kristin, this is amazing. You have to look it up because I retweeted a Vine of it, and maybe I'll tweet it from the Electric Fancave account too, because it was just the most adorable thing. And people were like kind of mean to him on the internet too, like, you know, they're like, I don't know if they're like retarded or what and stuff. But one of them then went and like responded to everybody, you know, and like retweeted things and stuff like that. And, you know, he had a really good sense of humor about the whole thing. So
that's cool.
That's my hat's off to you, Wheel of Fortune twins. You're fantastic.
You do you.
You are doing you so hard, and I like it. I heard it, Sean. I heard it.
I heard it too. I wasn't going to say it. Usually it's me that says it, so.
Yeah.
Although it is early, so.
Yeah. Oh, there's still time. We haven't even started talking about anything yet.
We haven't even started talking about Chris Pratt yet.
True story. Let's talk about some of these, if we're going to talk Chris Pratt, let's talk about some of these announcements here. Kristin, you have strong feelings on this one. Or at least you have some ambivalence.
I do. So, it's very confused, and I will grant you that they're very contradictory feelings. So the announcement that came out a few weeks ago, at least the first time I heard of it, was that they were wanting to remake The Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington. Yeah. Which I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I love Denzel Washington, so whatever he wants to be in, I'm like, yeah, go for it. Magnificent Seven, the only issue I have with it is that I love the original, and I also love, and I think we actually even talked about this.
We did, yeah.
Right? Okay. But I also loved, like, the TV show that had, like, Ron Perlman and Eric Close in it. Also loved that. So
yes.
I'm a little apprehensive about them trying to remake it, because sometimes that sucks.
Yes. Obviously, we see that sucks sometimes.
But okay, and so then they made this announcement that Chris Pratt's going to be in it. Now, we all know my feelings about that gentleman. So clearly I was like, oh, that would be so rad. And like the two of them together, like, I don't even know. I feel like that could be really magical.
Yeah. This is my next Denzel and Mark Wahlberg.
This is like I know, right? And so I'm excited. But then at the same time, and I've always like ranted that, maybe not ranted is a strong word. I've always kind of complained that there aren't enough Westerns nowadays. Like people kind of stopped making them just as a genre, except when like, I feel like the last Western we had was the remake of True Grit. Like there aren't.
Well, I mean Lone Ranger too, but that's like more of a it's a Disney movie that is.
I'm not going to count that, and I'm not counting A Million Ways to Die. Yeah, right. Is an Idiot or something, whatever that one was called. So I'm also not counting that one. So, but there haven't been any like good, just like they don't make Westerns anymore. Like I feel like as a rule, almost nobody does them. And so I know I've complained about it. So I really should be excited that they're even making a Western period. But I'm like, just can't we do there's got to be something else we could do. I don't know. I not that Westerns are even that like, ooh, that's an exciting new plot. Like, there's a bad guy and a good guy.
Yeah, that's kind of a, like, where are you going to go with it beyond what, like, because Westerns were so prolific in their day, you know, that it was like, there were bajillions of Westerns being made all the time. What are you going to do with that genre other than make?
And really, I guess they're all the same movie. Essentially, but I don't know. I just feel like we've already done The Magnificent Seven, so let's just, I don't know, give me a new character to fall in love with. Like, I clearly already love these characters. I don't know. Yeah. I guess really I don't really know what my feelings are. I'm feeling very conflicted about it. I'm like excited because I love the movie and I love I loved the like miniseries TV show and I love who they have in it so far. Yeah. But then I'm like, I just feel like everything that comes out is a remake.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
And there's always that, like, it could either be really awesome and give you another installment of a story you love.
True.
That you love. Or it could be like Terminator 3, basically. Yeah. You know, like, this is like the thing that you're like, we were doing so well. Yeah. Why did you have to mess with it?
I know. You know. So I don't know.
Yeah, so
I mean, clearly I'm excited, and if indeed it ends up being Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington, I'm like, I don't even know who else you're going to get for this cast, because I feel like the world's already about to explode from awesome from those two people, so whoever else you add.
The rest of the cast is just going to be Jared Leto, probably. That's it.
I feel like they're going to throw in someone I really hate just to, you know, it's like Lucas Black is going to get thrown in.
Oh my god, no! It's gonna be Lucas Black and like Jonah Hill. It'll be really, really fun. Michael Cera.
No, stop it! Come on.
I know. I shouldn't even joke like that. It's bad juju or something.
Yeah,
we don't need that to happen.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so
yeah,
I'm excited, but I'm like, we'll see. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, cautious.
But I shouldn't. You know, whatever. What is it? You look the horse in the mouth, because I mean they are giving me a Western, which is what I've been asking for. So
that's such a weird phrase. I remember learning the etymology of that somewhere, probably on like a show on History Channel or something.
It probably has to do with Hitler, I'm sure, right? Then if you saw it on History Channel.
Yeah, it was on History Channel, so I think it's a Hitler thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty rule.
Sure. That's a rule.
That's not even like them anymore. Like it's not the Hitler Channel is like 15 years ago. Now it's like the Aliens channel.
Or it's also like Armageddon channel too. They do a lot of Nicodemus.
End of the world predictions, aliens, all that. I mean, those are all wrapped up. Yeah, all that stuff is sort of wrapped up together. I was about to say, I watched a weird one on like earthquakes the other day, but then I realized that was Weather Channel, because I have a thing about Weather Channel.
Oh, earthquakes. Are we also going to talk about the San Andreas movie?
Which we determined, so this new movie, this is sort of an aside, but
side note, real quick.
There's a new movie with The Rock called San Andreas, and we were having a discussion of like, all the comments on the trailer, which came out yesterday, right?
I don't know, you sent it to me yesterday, so sure.
Yeah, I believe it actually did come out yesterday. All of the comments on the trailer are just people saying GTA, as in Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, and like, there's no concept that this is an actual, like, geographical and geological thing, is there? Because it's a film about, like, earthquakes. People are not
This is like an actual thing, you guys.
Yeah. Like, FYI, there's this big fault line. It's like a giant crack.
In California.
And earthquakes happen along it.
Yeah. So.
That's what this movie is about. It's not about Grand Theft Auto.
Nope.
It's about a fault line. I remember being like younger and going on a field trip and like straddling the fault, and it was the most terrifying thing in the world, because I was new to California and stressed out about the idea.
And there's all these like horror stories of
well, I just remember being a kid and seeing like the 89 earthquake on TV, and then reading books about earthquakes and being like, oh my god, like I can deal with your nor'easters and your hurricanes or whatever, but earthquakes, now that I live here, I'm like, that's not, who cares?
I know, really, they never happen.
Yeah, well, or they happen all the time. That's the thing, is that you're true. Like,
I guess they don't happen. There's no like big, I mean, they're constantly happening, but you never feel them.
Yeah, and when you do, it's not that big a deal.
And when you do, I honestly don't even remember them usually. Or you're like, oh, that was an earthquake. I just thought, like.
We've had a few good ones in the past few years. I mean, I remember a few Easters ago, there was one that lasted forever. It was like just rolled and rolled and rolled.
I have like I don't even remember. I sleep through them. I forget they happen. People are like, you remember this one? I'm like, no, not really.
Yeah. Well, okay, so they happen more than Kristin thinks they do, but it's not like crazy banana sauce. And so when I like stood on that fault line, I was like convinced that it was going to earthquake right then, and then I was going to fall into the land of the lost.
Like, right. If only.
I know, like that's like that was the optimistic view, I guess. Yeah. Like I am going to end up, there's going to be slee stacks and dinosaurs, and that's going to be a thing. But like it terrified me.
No. Yeah. Well, they're not a big deal, guys. Don't worry about them.
Yeah, it's really.
I say that until the big one hits, and then I'm like, oh gosh,
like that's the thing that I think is off-putting. But most Californians we don't think about it on a regular basis. But there is always that sense that like someday it has to happen.
Yeah, I legit never think about it except for like a lot of crazy stuff happens at once. I'm like, this is it.
Yeah,
the
here
big
it
one's
is.
about to hit. Like,
yeah. Except I have the opposite. This is totally unscientific. This is not a real thing, but I always think like, oh, if there were like 4 big earthquakes this week, that means that it's probably releasing tension. There's not going to be a big one.
There you go.
Not scientific at all. That's not actually science, but it feels like it should be science.
Yeah. It feels like it could be.
Yeah.
You know, like magic science or something.
Yeah. I'm like, in my head, it's totally reasonable. And I'm sure people, like, it's a thing people perpetuate. Like, I know I've heard people say that before. Like, no, it's fine. It's releasing the tension. We're going to be good. And I'm like, it's not what earthquake clusters mean.
Right.
There could very well be
kind
a
of like
big
putting
one.
butter on a burn. You're
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, why do people say that? You're like,
No.
no, then you just basically have toast out of your skin. Like,
gross.
good job, team. I don't know, earthquakes are just, they're an interesting thing. I feel like everyone should experience them, though, because there's something sort of fun about them. Like, well, I guess not for you, because you don't even notice them, but...
I don't know. I'm completely... I don't care about them.
Yeah. It does
I probably
not matter.
should. I probably should have, like, an earthquake preparedness kit. Like, Tom would be very...
I was about to say, do you not have one?
Yeah. I think I could scrounge.
And Tom didn't bring you one for your housewarming?
I'm pretty calm. Well, that boat has sailed, I think.
Well.
Whatever. We'll see.
Fair enough.
Anyway, San Andreas, guys. It's a real thing.
It's a real
Don't mess.
thing. It's not
Mother
just,
Nature is serious.
It's not just Grand Theft Auto, and it's not just a movie with The Rock. It is actually...
It's also something we live with every day.
Mm-hmm. And that, but not really us, because down here, and I don't even know what the fault is around here, but where you are, it's the Loma Prieta, right? And then like
no, I have no idea.
Northridge. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I like that I know the fault lines and whatnot better than you.
I think we've already established that I really don't care about them. The only thing I really know about them is like I remember I always got the split level house in Life, the game, and I was always super annoyed. I'm like, F the split level house has a crack in it. That's like. That's the only time I cared about it. I'm like, ugh.
Wow. All right, then. The other announcement.
Yes.
What was the other one? Oh, so officially, Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange.
He is officially Doctor Strange.
That is the thing now. And it's, there were 2 people really who were talking about it mainly on my timeline, and their reactions were so wildly divergent from one another. Like, one was like, well, I guess I will not be seeing Doctor Strange. That's it, you know? And then the other one was like, this is the best news ever. Like, and so I don't even know what to think at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the people, not that I've like polled people, but I asked my cousin, who's a pretty big, comic guy, and this was before they had the real announcement, when we talked about the rumor, and he was like, oh, I'd be all about that. Like, it'd be so good. I was like, oh, cool, So, I mean, people that I've talked about it have been stoked. So, I mean, how bad could it be?
Well, it could be con, but the thing is that wasn't really his fault.
Yeah. So, I mean, because,
and I don't know, I haven't really, I don't know what the argument of the friend who's like totally against this is. I know she's a huge Doctor Strange fan, like enormous, and she has been like from the get-go, it cannot be Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know why. If people don't write articles about things, I never know why they
well, maybe
like
she
stuff,
doesn't like Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor.
I don't think that's true, though. I don't think so. I'm gonna have to ask her and get back on that, because I don't.
This is a very incomplete story, and now I'm very.
I'm
sorry. Now
sorry.
starting to annoy
I'm sorry
me.
that there's
almost
not
to the point of like, I really need to know this.
All right.
It's now very
BRB, you guys. I'm gonna go talk to Chelsea and get back to you.
Yeah.
But no, I think what he does so well with whatever he's given, you know, and so you really can't ask more than that from an actor. So really, I'm not worried about Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. More than anything, it's like, well, let's just hope someone awesome's writing it, and that
hope it's not a lame movie, because I feel like at this point it sounds to me as if even if the movie was lame, she's also now going to blame that on him. As if that's
right?
Like,
no, he does his best.
Pump our brakes here.
Yeah, it's not his fault that Star Trek 2 was a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't come up with it.
He did not. He just played it. So yeah, it's officially a thing. We're
clearly excited about whatever he's going to be in.
I know. I'm just like, sure, yeah, put him in everything. I'm
Benedict,
for it.
Great. We'll see it.
He's the rest of the cast of Magnificent Seven. There we go. It's not Jared Leto. They're all going to be played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Into it,
and he would pull it off. He's gonna like Orphan Black it, dude.
I don't know what that means, but I'm super stoked about it.
You haven't seen Orphan Black yet?
No. Why would I have seen that?
Why wouldn't you have seen that?
I don't know.
Kristin, I feel like I failed you as a friend.
I don't even know what channel is it on?
Well, it's BBC, but it's on Amazon, and it's...
Have that one, remember?
Oh, man. I really need to give you my login. Orphan Black is, like, it's incredible. This is just one of those shows that comes out, and, like, it was the thing everyone was talking about.
I mean, I remember people talking about it.
It was like,
I've heard of it, but I don't understand. I don't know what the plot is.
Yeah, this clone club thing. It's basically about, like, this girl who discovers that she's a clone. Oh. And there's all these different clones of her, but they all have, like, very different personalities and followed very different paths in life. And they're trying to figure out, like, why this happened. Like, why are they clones? What's
and
their
who's
purpose?
The original?
Well, that's the other thing is
you don't know who the original is?
The narrative is that there is no original, but maybe there is an original, and this is part of, like, where the trajectory of this show goes, is, like, how did this
makes my brain hurt a little bit.
Yeah, when you watch it, it's amazing. The girl who plays her, Tatiana Maslany, just, like, should win all the Emmys ever, because you don't, as you watch the show, you do not think this is the same actress. Like, this is distinctly, like, 8 different women, you know? Yeah. And then you're like, no, it's actually her, but they're so different from one another, they're unrecognizable as the same person.
Wow.
Yeah,
which brings into question, how cloney can they be if they have none of the same character traits?
These are all the things that they have to tackle in this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's your general nature-nurture as well, but... You know, there's a lot of this, like, trying to figure out the nature of who they are and how they are and why, and it's so good.
Oh, okay.
So, you need to watch that. Yeah, and anyone who's listening to this who hasn't watched it, get on that as well.
Apparently you should. Apparently we've missed the boat here.
Yeah, it's huge.
The boat has left the harbor without us.
So long. But yeah, so I don't remember why we started talking about that. Oh, because of Benedict Cumberbatch and Magnificent Seven.
Being an Orphan Black.
Yes.
Yes. So Doctor Strange, super into it or not? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
Both ways.
We're gonna see it. I think that's clear.
Totes my goats.
Yeah. So a couple of things came out regarding Harry Potter this week. Okay, wait, Kristin, though. So
what? You're not going to make me excited about this, but go ahead. Try your best. We'll see.
I would never attempt to do that. The news came out that J.K. Rowling was going to put out 12 new Harry Potter stories on Pottermore. You guys all know how we feel about this. That we are not into it. We think it's time to just stop.
This is me hanging up the hat.
Hanging up the Harry Potter hat.
Hang up the sorting hat. Hang up your wand, JK.
There it is. Hanging up the sorting hat. Time to hang it up.
Hang up your owl. Hang up your cloak.
Yeah, maybe not like animals.
Oh.
It's weird to hang up animals. Anyways, but it turns out that's totally not true.
Oh.
And the media is dumb, because what actually was announced was that there's going to be 12 new exciting things on Pottermore, one each day. Which apparently she did last year as well. So, like, there's going to be 2 new potions that are announced, you know, and, like, there might be J.K. Rowling writes her thoughts about something on there, but it's not actually...
Hopefully it's just potions.
Yeah, but it's not actually that there's going to be 12 new Harry Potter stories. That was just... I don't know how this... because if you read what was released by Pottermore, and I should have noticed this in the first place, because I did get the email from Pottermore before all the news came out, and it doesn't sound anything like she's releasing it, and so, releasing 12 stories. So I don't know, like... They're just messing with us, clearly. Or the media doesn't read.
I don't read either. I was just like, over it. Don't want to read it. Not that I would have cared anyway, because even if I knew it was 12 new things on Pottermore, I still wasn't going to. I don't even know what my login is anymore.
Well, also
Poor Ethan's probably starving. I haven't fed him in months since I even signed up for this thing.
I forgot about Ethan.
Ethan's my owl, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah. She's not starving someone named Ethan, but that was the first name that came to Kristin's mind when trying to name her owl.
I think all people should give their pets people names.
I'm for it.
Hilarious. My friend growing up had a golden retriever named Rachel. Like, what? And my friend Kelly has a dog named Lauren. I'm like, I have a friend named Lauren, though. So it's like
I have a lot of friends named Lauren.
Right? So it's not even like an old-timey name. Like, oh, this is my dog, Phyllis. It's like, where like you don't know anybody named Phyllis. I'm like, I know lots of people named both Rachel and Lauren.
Yeah. No, that's a full-on regular everyday name.
So regular everyday name, and so is Ethan. Yeah. So
that's like when little
maybe I
kids...
should have named him Frank.
Yeah, Frank's good. Like, when little kids get pets, they always do, like, they pick their favorite name at the moment. So it's like, my dog's name's Caitlin.
Yeah. What? Is that your best friend's name?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
this is my cat, Sarah. I totally knew people who had pets named Sarah, and you just knew. It's like, you all have friends named Sarah. Which is not a name for children anymore, by the way.
Well, some people. My friend's got a kid named Sarah.
Oh, look at that. That's like old school. That's like, that's the Violet of our generation,
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm just saying.
Sarah's not that old of a name.
Okay, it's more like Fran or something like that.
No, it's
Kimberly. Not. It's like Kimberly.
Okay, maybe.
All those like, what are names from the 80s names, like Kimberly or Brittany or things like that like nobody named their kids after that.
Yeah.
Sarah, Caitlin, stuff like that. Those are.
I know, but Fran is pushing it.
Fran is like, maybe that's like baby boomer.
Yeah, I'll put Sarah. I will group Sarah with Brittany. I don't know a lot of kids named Brittany now. I mean, I have friends named Brittany and Sarah, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
you got where I was going with it.
I get it.
I maybe overdid a little bit. I overestimated.
You overreached with Fran and Violet.
Well, the other name I thought of was Karen, which is like another middle-aged lady name, except one of our close friends is named Karen. So,
no.
But it fits her.
It does, because she does. Very mom-like.
Let me tell you, she's super mom-like. And one of my favorite things about Karen, she has a twin sister named Katie, who was my roommate. And they have this wonderfully dramatic family where everything is just like like the normal emotions anyone would have about anything is like times 1,000 in their family. And so I always think about them at this time of year because they always described traveling together as being like the beginning of Home Alone. And there's not that many of them. There's the two of them, their parents, and their older sister.
Right.
And it was so like difficult, and someone was always crying in the airport. Like there was always just like tons of tears and like just bad news bears. That I remember we lived in Oregon and she was flying home to Hanford, California, and like she was just baffled at how easy it was because she thought that like it was supposed to be this horrible, miserable experience that was super high stress, and she just like couldn't fathom that you could just like go and like
be fine.
You're okay. Yeah, this is how it is. So I just always picture the entire Froberg clan like running through the airport. Tickets flying everywhere.
They get on the plane. Kevin!
By the way, I watched Home Alone 2 last night. Mm-hmm. Have you watched that in a while?
I haven't. My roommate was also watching it. I didn't sit down and watch it with her, but I walked in during the scene when it was like the, what's it called scene? The airport scene when they were trying to get to their plane. And I'm thinking, no one in their right mind would let this little boy on with no ticket.
The entire, like, premise of it hinges on things that could not happen today based on various things. Like, this is a pre-9/11 movie.
Right, true.
And
I always forget that, too.
Yes, so you can, like, you would never get to the gate. There's no way you could possibly get to the gate that way. And then, he hits her and the boarding passes fly all over the place. But, like, they now have to, like, put them through the scanners, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They would have had to go through every single one of those boarding passes to find this kid's pass. And then just sit anywhere, unless it's Southwest, that's not a thing anymore.
Right. Oh, you see your dad? Okay, just go grab a seat.
Yeah. And
First
then
of all,
on
he's
top...
clearly, like, 9 years old.
Yeah, like, really? I don't think so. And then when he gets to New York, this whole thing would be resolved because his parents would have had, like, cell phones.
Yeah.
And it would have just been like, oh, call him up, and everything is set. Right. But because this is, 15, 20 years ago. There's no, all those easy communications can't happen. And so, bam, there's this whole issue. So that just cracked me up watching it, that I was like, this entire movie, the premise you could not remake this and have it bear any resemblance to the film that it was. Because, it doesn't, we have moved past that. Yeah. Anyway.
What else we got?
But the other Harry Potter thing that I just wanted to throw in there too was that there is this Polish castle in Poland. Obviously,
what?
There's a Polish castle in Poland. I know.
Mind blown.
Crazy. Imagine that. There's a castle in Poland that Harry Potter fans have taken over and created their own Hogwarts out of. They are now doing sort of a con type thing, but it's 4 days, and you get to be a student at their version of Hogwarts. This is the coolest thing I have ever heard. And they have their own version of, like, taking the owls and stuff like that. So obviously you can't do magic, but they have their other sorts of, like, things you can study there. And you take your tests and you pass your exams, and you get sorted into
If you think about it,
houses.
it's kind of funny. I'm like, I'd love to live action role play and going back to school. Who does it? That's like my nightmare. I wake up sometimes and think, I didn't study for my test. I'm like, wait, I don't have a test. I'm not in school.
Yeah, now that you put it that way, that actually does sound kind of miserable.
It'd be cooler if you could just do activities. I don't want to take a test at the end. That's lame. Because if you don't pass, you're like, cool, I spent $5,000 on this dream trip to LARP Harry Potter in Poland, and I failed my owls. They're like, well, sir, you're going to try again next year. You're like, I can't. I spent my life savings coming here this year. This was my one chance to pass my owls.
This is really pessimistic, Kristin.
You know what? I'm not having a great week, Corey.
This is just my worldview right now, right, man?
Just angry. Although I did learn something new today that was very exciting.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that on your mouse, there's this little center button, and if you use it to click on links, it opens a new tab for you in your browser?
I don't use a mouse like that, but that's cool.
It's completely revolutionized the way I use the internet, Corey.
That's
my
amazing.
coworker was helping me with this software we used today, and he's like, yeah, just use the center click. I'm like, center click? There's right and left. He's like, no, and he did it for me, and I was like, I'm yelling at him. I'm like, Jordan, this changes everything. This changes everything. And he's laughing hysterically. I'm like, seriously?
No, but
I cannot emphasize enough how much this has revolutionized my life right now. You have just changed my entire worldview about the internet. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I keep telling people because I think it's cool. And he's super mellow, so my excitement level does not match his,
You're like, get on my level. Get on my level.
Him, and I'm so excited. And he's like, yeah, I always kind of told people because I always thought it was so cool. He's like, but you're kind of the first person that's been really excited. I'm like, well, Jordan, my excitement level is usually about an 11, where everyone else is at a 5.
It's a Kristen Bell,
Yeah, it's kind of I'm like, yeah. If I'm not between a 5 and a 7, I'm fine. Anyway, that was the one bright spot today. But anyway,
that's you know what? I get really excited about all those kinds of tricks, and there's so many of them on the Mac. There's tons of stuff that you can do with the little touchpad thing. Another one that people don't realize that you can do with your mouse on a PC is if you highlight something and left click on it, it just brings it up and it'll say, you want to Google search that? And so then you never have to copy, paste into Google. It just opens it up into a new thing. Bam! There's just so many things you can do with it. It's
technology, you guys. Sometimes it's a pain.
But still,
sometimes
I love technology, not as much as you see. Yeah.
Aww.
Anyway, so you can LARP in Poland. It's actually the program itself is not that expensive, but you have to get to Poland. So there's.
But if you apparently on kayak.com, I think, or on the app, there's an explore button or something, and you click it, and it'll give you the cheapest flights for that time, for the time of year you want to go, or the time of year that you're in. So for January right now, it's $500 round trip to Paris or something.
Oh wow! Hey, that's not bad.
Fun travel hint. And then it's Thailand's really cheap in January.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
you can be if I could take a trip at any point in the year and I'm not like constrained by my kids' vacations or anything like that, you could just go on there and be like, bam, this is a cheap time to go.
Cool. I've never been there. I'm going to try out Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, why not?
Know if that's a big destination spot.
I don't know if that's a big destination spot, but I've known people who've lived there and it seems lovely.
There you go.
It seems
you could Swiss Family Robinson it. It could be really fun.
That's a good way to do it. That's how you save money by, you just like makeshift everything.
Yep. 100%.
You have to hunt stuff and you just starve and be naked, essentially. Is what
Naked and Alone. Isn't that the movie?
I think it's Naked and Afraid.
I've heard it both ways.
Maybe it's alone. No, because there's two people. It has to be.
Oh, that's right. And there's a camera crew, so.
Yes.
Anyway.
So, yeah, clearly not alone.
Whatever.
Another thing, Terminator Genesis.
Okay. First of all, the spelling of Genesis just
right, like it's supposed to be like I get what they're going for. Like
I don't.
It's supposed to be like system, like.
Okay, we get it. I don't, but also, I'm sure other people did.
Don't they spell it with an I too? Like instead of.
It's like the most. I'm not even gonna try to spell it to you. All I know is it's like this is how people try to spell my name who don't know me at Starbucks. I'm like. It's like someone at Starbucks tried to write Genesis on a cup, and this is what they came up with.
They're just like KRZYQYFL.
I'm like, what?
Right.
What? Who do you know that spells their name like this?
Clay.
Yeah, and then they try to say it. Yeah.
Right?
They're like, oh, all of those letters are silent. I'm like, they don't put them in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Terminator Genesis, you guys. This trailer is
just as baffling as the spelling.
It's more confusing. It is.
It's like basically they were like,
the other
okay,
movies.
Yeah, people hated the third and fourth movies. Why do you think that is? It's probably because they just wanted to see us do the first and second movie again. That's what they're going for.
That's what we should do.
So here's a good plan. We're going to put all the same... I mean, this is basically the Terminator equivalent of Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yes. They just use all the same lines.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see Arnold Schwarzenegger do the same lines again.
Yeah, we watched him earlier in the movie. Like we
saw that already.
Yeah. It's like a glitch in the Matrix all of a sudden. It's this huge, just like a giant deja vu movie.
Because it's just like how many times can you do that plot over and over again before it just feels really futile? Like clearly this is never gonna work, so just stop sending people
back in time because nobody ever saves you.
Yeah.
Skynet always wins.
Yeah.
And they always kill all of you. So
this is all that I've gleaned from this. This is Edge of Tomorrow is more hopeful than Terminator. Like
goodness gracious.
Holy cow. It just
what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to Ender's Game it and just blow everything up. Just in case. Just in case.
Right?
You know?
I agree. It's just such a... It's just
so weird.
I don't know, like... the funny thing is, I had no idea this movie was happening until the trailer came out, too. And so... It came out of left field
2 weeks ago, they released the posters, and I was like, oh. Okay.
That's happening.
I was kind of excited. I kind of liked the last one with
with Christian Bale,
Sam Worthington. Yeah, I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
actually.
Sam Worthington. That was the one where I had no idea like who Sam Worthington was, and then halfway through the movie, I was like, "Is he Australian?"
Yeah, he totally is, right?
He all of a sudden started having an Australian accent. I was like, "What's happening in this movie?"
I kind of liked it, but that was just I realized I was in the minority. I'm okay with that.
It didn't make sense,
but I also didn't feel like they needed to make another one after that one.
Well, and that's what I thought. I was like, I was like, you know what? Like, I didn't like it, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I really did not think we were gonna go for 5. That never crossed my mind that it's like, what this needs is a 5th.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, like with anything else, it's a moneymaker. They know people are gonna go out to see it, knowing full well, like, maybe some people are thinking they're gonna go because they're gonna like it, but most are just gonna go because it's Terminator. And you have to go watch Terminator. Just like all of us hate watching Peter Pan live the other night. Like, you just watch it because you have to.
Yeah.
So it's going to make them bajillions of dollars. It's going to do great overseas. And, like...
And for people who don't like to watch old movies, they can just watch the first 2 in this one.
Exactly.
You get to kill 2 birds with one stone.
If 1 and 2 seem dated...
Yeah.
Just watch this.
Although, frankly, you should see them because they're revolutionary in their CGI. So
yeah, we watched a clip from Terminator 2 the other day in class, and like my mind was like still blown.
Right? It holds up.
That looks incredible.
It totally
like, why
holds
doesn't
up.
Avatar look this good? You know? Like,
don't even get me started on Fern Gully 2. I don't even want to go there.
Don't even get me started. Yeah, I just don't understand. Sometimes I feel like that is the case. That technology is just like regressed as it's advanced. Or like,
right.
I believed Jurassic Park. I believed, Terminator, all these kinds of things. And now I don't believe anything you're putting in front of me. Maybe I'm just used to it now and it's harder to trick me.
And maybe it goes back to your guys's, I'm bundling you in with other people that I know, of your original argument of it's like, because they only used a little bit of CGI, and then
it was
intermixed with,
yeah.
So now it's to excess, so you expect, and so A, you expect it, and B, there's just way too much that you're like, oh, it looks fake, but it's like, when there's the herd of CGI dinosaurs running next to Sam Neill, you're like, holy crap, that could totally happen.
Yeah.
That could be a thing. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think that's maybe what it is. And now I'm angry at myself because I feel like you're pulling me over to your side.
I was
like, oh, anyway, that's
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it for you, but
it's fine.
Yeah, it's just, all I'm really saying is Terminator, the original, holds up. And it's not, I mean, this one, it doesn't necessarily look like it's bad CGI or anything like that. It looks like a bad
absolutely.
movie.
It'll be fine. It'll just confuse it. I don't understand its purpose.
Yeah, it's like, watching Final Destination movies. You know at the end of it everybody's gonna die, but it's like Terminator is not acknowledging that that's the theme.
Yeah.
It's like, at least when I watch Final Destination, I know where this is headed.
And the makers know that it's hopeless.
Yeah.
Whereas like Terminator keeps trying to find like a happy ending. I'm like, every time you make this movie, it ends the same way.
Right. Where's
the robots always win.
They
always win. They're always outsmarting you, like, always.
Yep.
I mean, that's their deal. Yeah. We've made them too smart.
That's on us. That's our bad. Let's take it as a cautionary tale and stop making more movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops.
Yep. Now that we've provided the template to them.
Yeah.
Our robots. I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. Lastly, in our news, just for fun, Nick Offerman. What a guy.
Aww,
what a guy.
What a guy.
He's got some sort of advertising deal with a whiskey company from Scotland. And so there's a YouTube channel. I can't even remember. Do you remember what it was called? It's like Tales of Whiskey with Nick Offerman.
Tales of My Whiskey or My Whiskey Tales or... Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
we're
something
totally
like that.
this.
We're butchering it. It'll be linked to on the site.
Yes.
We watched this like 5 days ago.
True. So long ago.
But so the first video on it is him singing a song about whiskey and things he can't do while he's holding whiskey and why that makes his life difficult.
Yeah.
And it's I love is that he's basically embraced being Ron Swanson.
Well, what's funny is that some of the scenes from it are from Parks and Rec. Remember, she sends him on that trip.
Oh, that's right.
And that's where he is.
I wonder if they just did that as like a killing two birds with one stone. Like, listen, he needs to go do this commercial campaign. While he's there, why don't we film
so
this?
Good, though.
That was so good.
That was one of my favorite moments.
At the end of it, when he's like sitting there and he's trying not to be emotional, but he is.
Oh my gosh. And I love it. I love everything about it. It's so good.
That's such a good one. But that's a good catch. I didn't even I did not catch it. I did remember because I was thinking, I was like, isn't this the whiskey he drinks on the show? But I did not make the connection that it was like, oh yeah, in that episode when he goes there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When does that come back?
They're filming it right now, so I think because they're only doing half of a season for their final. So spring.
That's so sad.
It'll be like a spring premiere.
Yeah.
January or February, I think.
Oh man, I hate that. That's like, there's something else that's coming out that's on its final season and it has like only a few episodes left, and with those few episodes, they're doing 2 episodes a night, so it's gonna be even quicker. And I'm like, no, nobody wants that. Well, wait.
Just stretch it out,
stretch it out. Give me my, 2 months of this show. I don't need it all condensed into 4 or 5 weeks. I'm not ready to say goodbye. Just, it kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. Watch it. And then there's like another video. I haven't checked back since then, but there was another video on the site in which he has an argument with a bartender over whether he served him the right type of whiskey, and then goes to Scotland to prove this bartender wrong. It's pretty great. It was fun.
It's pretty good.
Let's talk a little bit about some replies that we got last time. Right. Duncan was not pleased with our assessment of Jared Leto. Which, to be fair, I would say we were not entirely against it. We're just baffled by this. And Duncan's argument basically is like, listen, he's, you know, really, he's just coming off of an Oscar. He's, you know, sort of well sought after. You know what happens when
people come off of Oscars and do superhero movies? Catwoman. Excuse me. Just saying.
Yikes. That's a good point. Yeah, he's coming off an Oscar, he's sought after, he's good looking, he's got all those kinds of qualifications, and Duncan likened it to, you know, people reacting to Heath Ledger poorly, which is funny because at the time I had no idea people didn't want Heath Ledger to be the Joker. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
I thought we talked about this. Didn't we mention Heath Ledger?
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned Heath Ledger, but I don't think in the sense of like that there was a backlash against him. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't remember.
I thought we did. Oh, whatever.
Anyway,
apparently I'm hallucinating, so that's fine.
That's fine. Or I forget. Both of these are possible. But yeah, he was like, you guys sound like people who are against Heath Ledger. Like, no, my thing is I just think it's a weird casting choice. You know, I don't know what to do with it. But as in response to, he sent this link. And where did it go? I just minimized it, but it was pretty funny. It's like it's from dorkly.com, and it's 5 reasons to still be nervous about Suicide Squad. And it's a delightful little bit of satire that's basically making fun of everyone who's worried about Suicide Squad. So the first reason to still be nervous about Suicide Squad is Will Smith probably isn't singing a song where he explains the plot.
Well, then forget it. I don't want to see it.
Right? He needs to sing a song with an elaborate music video that explains what's happening. He gets it. The author of this article says, "I'll even get it started for you." Stars with the trademark "hoo ha 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 ha" things he does. Yeah, it's the Suicide Squad now coming at ya, and if you're a baddie, we're gonna catch ya. Deadshot here, coming loud and clear, but no need to fear. Yeah, I got my gear, and the rest of the squad, yeah, lend me your ear. Got Harley Quinn, yeah, the chick is crazy, but she'll save ya ass 'cause she sure ain't lazy. And don't forget Boomerang, Enchantress, and Rick Flag. When it's all on the line, yeah, we got it in the bag. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty well done.
Now I feel like they kind of have to do it.
Yeah, so. Now, Will, you know what you need to do. Maybe get Jaden to do it. That's fine. He's doing...
that's just what we need.
Yeah. Another reason is they might cast Oprah as Amanda Waller instead of CCH Pounder. That speaks for itself. Jared Leto is playing the Joker, and if Heath Ledger as the Joker taught us anything, we should get really riled up about pretty boy actors playing the Joker. Touché. It's not about the pretty boy thing. You know what? The funny thing is, when I think of Jared Leto, I actually don't think of him as a pretty boy.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, like, maybe in the Jordan Catalano days?
Yeah, I was going to say, but that's what, he's been kind of frozen for a lot of people there.
I guess so. I just think, like, because
really, what has he done that's been that popular since? Everything else has been very fringy.
Yeah, because he was such sort of like a character actor for a very long time, and he was one of those people that between movies you would not recognize who he was.
Totally.
Like, he appears in Panic Room, he's got those cornrows, and then in, like, Fight Club, he's got the bleach thing, and it's so, like... Yeah, I guess people maybe, as a result of that, they just, like, ignored all of the other work that he's done in between and just...
Right. I mean, I remember when he won his Oscar, all people were talking about was the fact that it was Jordan Catalano had won an Oscar. True. And, like, there was I think everything I saw was about My So-Called Life for the next, like, 3 weeks because people were so excited. Right.
I just chalked that up to, like, the general 90s nostalgia that exists these days, but...
Yeah, but I feel like it was centered, a lot of it's centered around him, you know, as that was, like, that's kind of his...
Yeah. That's so weird, yeah. I mean, I get it. I guess I get that, you know. And then another reason was Suicide Squad's being released August 6, 2016. That means Halloween 2016 is going to be pretty much nothing but Harley Quinn costumes. That's true. That's quite accurate. That's already what like Comic-Con and Kamikaze and all that stuff look like right now.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn is sort of.
I saw a bunch of Harley Quinn when we were at Kamikaze. I didn't realize that was a.
It's everywhere. Everybody's doing it. Yeah. And the final worry is that it's not coming out tomorrow. It's actually a good description. August 6, 2016. That's like 2 years from now. About 150,000 people die every day. That means a whole bunch of people are going to be dead before this movie comes out.
Well, it's kind of like when the Star Wars trailer came out and you're so excited, and at the end it was like December 2015. You're like, what the? A year?
Oh, hell no.
Bummed. Yeah, it was
really long time.
That was kind of my feeling too, because you're like, this is wonky.
Yeah, I get that. That concern there. So good job with that, Dorkly. You schooled us. But in the end, we're not saying Jared can't pull it off. We're just saying he's going to have to impress us.
We're withholding excitement until we stage.
Exactly. I withhold it. I'm going to be very confused about this entire thing for a very long time when you've got like just such a strange wildcard group of people in it. And then my browser just crashed, so I can't see any of the other Facebook comments. I know Sean had said something to us that I was going to read, and now I can't see it, so I apologize. But I do have Melanie Ray's songs she doesn't like for Christmas, and this is hilarious to me because all of the songs she doesn't like are like the ones I do. I mean, not all of them, but she dislikes Frosty the Snowman. Okay. That's classic. Although I always get that confused with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer every time. I always am going, Frosty the Snowman had a very shiny nose.
Nope.
It's not right. That is the incorrect lyrics.
Yeah.
Something called Susie Snowflake. Do you know what that is?
Never heard of it. Must be a New Zealand thing.
It must be. That's the only explanation. If we've never heard of it, it's a Kiwi thing. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Come on now.
Oh, I don't know. She must not have heard Dean Martin's version because it is delightful.
And also you get to interact with it, You
Yeah.
get to like shout out things like a light bulb, like Monopoly.
Well, I like the Dean Martin version because at the end of it he gets this weird accent, because I'm pretty sure he's like drunk when he does most of these songs.
Probably.
But he's like gets this weird accent at the end, and then he calls him Rudy the red-beaked reindeer.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just love him so much. I think he's just the most adorable man in the world.
Like then he just like drops the mic and stumbles off.
And he's like, what?
Another three fingers of whiskey.
Him and Frank Sinatra are just like backstage laughing it off. And I'm like, oh my god, I love you guys so much. And I have this like Christmas with the Rat Pack CD.
Oh my god.
That has all of these, like, after they're done singing, they're like, whoa! And they talk to each other, and it's so cute. And oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Anyway.
That's exactly what they do the whole time. It's just like, hey, Dean, ma, ma. Yeah, that's right, Frank, ma.
Oh, yeah. You're so cute.
Grandma's Killer Fruitcake. That's another one I have not heard.
Yep, never heard of that one either.
Okay, this is baffling to me. Carol of the Bells. Who doesn't like Carol of the Bells?
Which one is
no. I mean, like, if you sing it in a choir, I think you just say a lot of ding-dong.
Yeah.
That's one of the best Christmas songs ever.
I guess, I don't dislike it.
Yeah, that surprised me. I thought everybody liked Carol of the Bells. No Jingle Bells or Jingle Bell Rock.
I like Jingle Bell Rock.
Yeah.
Jingle Bells can get annoying.
Jingle Bells, yeah.
Because there's not a lot of variety in it. But I think Jingle Bell Rock just is,
It's classic. It's
classic.
I love Jingle Bell Rock. Also, Mean Girls.
Yeah.
So, there's that. And then, worst of all, and I can agree with this, 12 Days of Christmas.
Yeah.
That's
because I can never remember what the next day is, and like, who wants 11 Lords a Leapin' or whatever? Yeah. Why would I want that?
Nobody knows the words to that song. It's a big fat disaster, and it goes forever.
Yeah. It's like 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Exactly. It's the thing you sing like when you want to annoy your parents, like the song that never ends, you know? No thanks. Also, she says she's not a fan of Deck the Halls or Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Those just seem like classics, that's all. And Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, which was my jam when I was a child. So, I'm a little baffled by those picks, Mel. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie. But you're entitled to that.
You are.
And Eric Nichols says, on a separate note, that the Hobbit movies are okay, and he just wishes that Peter Jackson would stick to the book. I'm with you. Yeah.
I know. Well, actually, I don't. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, I liked the book too.
Well,
yeah, we could say if he had stuck with the book, we'd have one movie and not 17.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's the thing we can agree on is that if it was just the book, we wouldn't have these giant epics. Yeah. And Luke points out, and I did mean to point this out too, that I sort of misspoke in the last one, but he said he thinks the Black Stormtrooper thing, people getting up in arms about that was because people think they're all clones. Which is true. That is one of the complaints that I had heard about it. And I didn't mean to pin all of the like weird racist comments on that one thing because there is sort of an explanation.
Right. Well, and I thought he wasn't really a stormtrooper. Isn't he one of the main characters?
Well, that's I mean, that's up for debate because nobody knows anything more about it. So
I mean, he seems like a very whatever. Okay.
I mean, the truth is, as several people have pointed out now, and as Luke I think is getting at here, that the stormtroopers aren't clones, though. That this is like a storyline that they like changed in various of the other, like, because Star Wars is such like a huge universe.
Yeah, there's a lot happening there. We've only scratched the surface with the movies.
There's cartoons and books and comics and all kinds of stuff. Somewhere along the lines, these things are not clones, so they can be whatever color, whoever they want to be. But that's certainly, you're correct, Luke. That is definitely one of the things that is at the heart of this criticism of what's his name? Boyega. John Boyega. Yeah. I feel like his first name shouldn't be John. Every time I say it, I'm like, that can't be right. I don't know. I just feel like John. This is like the age name things. I'm like, he's too young to be a John.
Yeah, John's a classic one.
It is.
I mean, kids are named John because it's like John, Jack. Those are cool.
Jack
because they're
is
strong.
Really like
I mean, every good character in anything ever is named John.
Yeah, or Jack. Yeah,
or Jack.
One of those.
Or also bad guys. Who also have those names.
This is true.
It can really go either way.
It's a versatile name. It really
is. Very versatile. Yes.
For whatever reason, I still just feel like it should be like a middle-aged guy name. But you're right. It is. It's got a lot of reach. So those are a few of the things that people have said to us, and I apologize that my browser crashed the rest of the way, so I can't share the other insights. I should have copied them into Evernote. That's my bad, you guys. But there's that. So anything else you would like to say to the lovely viewers at home there, Kristin?
I don't. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So happy to have you. It's almost Christmas. And Hanukkah, and it's not Hanukkah yet, right?
I don't know.
No, I would know if it was Hanukkah. But these things are coming up, and so we look forward to sharing in some seasonal joy with you. Probably, I imagine next week will probably be our last before Christmas. Like, obviously it'll be our last before Christmas, but then we won't do one Christmas week, so we'll try to make next week's very festive for you.
Yes.
Have a good old time.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So make sure that you follow us on the iTunes, Stitcher, Tumblr, YouTube, all those places that you see the Electric Fan Cave. We would love to have you hanging out with us. Follow the Electric Feast Facebook, and make sure that you check out the blog on electricfeast.com, where we'll link to all the things that we talked about today. There should be some good stuff, including those awesome Wheel of Fortune twins, who are rad. So cute. So much
adorable.
Happy. Adorbs.
Love them. Just want to put them in my pocket. They're so cute.
Till next time, I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
And I'm Kristin Lotterell.
Peace out, everybody.
See ya.